Good morning. Good afternoon, rather. Sorry, yeah. Stay humble, Paul. Stay humble. Look, really, we need an hour to discuss this game. Luckily, I have that at 7 o'clock this evening.
Yes.
On kickoff. But in many ways, it was I'm prone to exaggeration, but it may have been the most mad and dramatic Premier League game I've ever seen. Because everything... Look, if you start from a player got booked in the Premier League before he made his debut in the Premier League, if you start from there and say that was not by any means the most remarkable thing that happened... It was crazy. It was absolutely
right from
crazy.
The kickoff, Danny, wasn't it? When Rodri got taken out by Havertz inadvertently, I think. But who knows?
I think the letters I and N may be holding a lot of weight there, Andy, if I'm truthful. But I don't know if the word advertently can happen. But both these teams are, if not masters, then certainly good apprentices of the dark arts. And we saw plenty of that as well. And a referee who couldn't quite get things right on the day, some of the things he was doing, not all of them. And I think that it was a shame in some ways that the game got spoiled by the red card. I'm not saying the red card was wrong. And I'm not sure I agree with Paul. There's words you don't hear me say very often. I don't think Arsenal did enough to win the game, even though their Alamo defensive effort in the second half was, you could argue, heroic. But if let's say the equaliser had come in the 58th rather than the 98th minute, we'd have seen the game completely differently.
I think they probably would have taken a point before they got there, Arsenal.
Yeah, it was a good point in the end. And the thing is, after 15 minutes when they were losing and then Gundogan hit the post, 2-0, they would have been sunk. I think they might have even got absolutely thrashed. City were all over them. They got that goal back and then the game changed completely. And by half-time, I think if they hadn't gone down to 11, they probably would have won the match.
The comments by Bernardo Silva, if I'm an Arsenal player or I'm Mikel Arteta or anybody involved with the club, I'm taking a lot from that. You know, it did feel a bit like the old days of Arsene Wenger when teams would turn up and maybe not go toe-to-toe with them. They'd be a terrible affront that somebody else wanted to approach the game in a different way. You know, he said, Liverpool have won a Champions League, Arsenal haven't. Liverpool always come here and match us and play football.
Exactly.
Well, you know, I think they've got under their skin. Arsenal clearly got under their skin.
There is an argument you were watching, and we were lucky to watch. Arguably the best attacking team in the world in Manchester City, though I think Bayern Munich's 20 goals in the past week may have something to say about that. Against what is clearly the best defensive team in the world, which is what Arsenal are just now. And given an excuse to go really defensive, Arteta almost threw a gauntlet down to them, didn't he? By leaving them no outlet at all, taking off Saka, I don't know if he was hurt, but that choice of leaving them no outlet at all, it was to say, come on then, run at us, see what you can do. And Arsenal engage you at such a high level physically these days. Yeah. It was almost as if say, I don't think City can do us here. And they didn't win the game, City, against 10 men at home for almost half the match. I thought, they are presenting a challenge to City they haven't had before.
Oh, no,
They're not trying to out-football them. They're a good football team, Arsenal, but they are teak hard now, and City didn't do very well with it at times.
That's the thing, Andy. Danny, if a game of football does suddenly break out and they've got the players and they've got their full squad out, they'll go toe-to-toe with you then as well. So that's why... from our point of view.
And to win a title, you have to have a great defence. We all know that. I thought Pep got it wrong yesterday. I think he didn't bring on people. He could have done with De Bruyne, obviously, but the long shots and shots at deflections were always going to be the way against that tact, and it proved in the end.
But ultimately, bringing Grealish on and
that did, but
just a short.
But it took a long time to bring Grealish and Foden on, and you think why keeping these players back? Arsenal are offering no threat whatsoever. Unlike Inter Milan, who did offer a threat on the counter, I thought they played really well against City. It was a different sort of performance.
Yeah.
But, Raya's tactical injury, though. I mean, honestly, these referees, he should have just said to her, get up now or get off the pitch now. But I'm not allowing you to do what you've just done. There was absolutely nothing wrong with him. They all went to the side for a drink and some coaching. You can't allow... And also, Oliver, you can't be affecting the game in a big game like that, huge stakes. He did affect by calling Walker over him, what he did there.
Right.
That affected the game. It's
not right. This is part of the who was lucky, who was unlucky. And, of course, social media is not the real world, but the response on social media to this game was insane, with both sets of supporters claiming corruption and all kinds of things. Just put in the word corruption into a search engine and see what comes up.
That's ludicrous.
No, quite. But both City's goals, both of Arsenal's goals, could easily have been on another day disallowed.
Yeah.
The first one, you cannot call the captain 40 yards and then not let him get a chance to go back into position. And afterwards, Guardiola said next time he's going to tell the players to stay where they are and let the referee come to them. Equally, the header, we know that he's a very difficult man to stop, Gabriel and all the rest of it, but it's more difficult to defend if two players are fouling the goalkeeper simultaneously. And again, in another world, in another league, that would have been disallowed.
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs, Monday to Friday afternoons, 1 till 4. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.